When a language model serves a request, it keeps a running memory of everything it has read so far, called the KV cache. That cache is where a lot of your GPU memory quietly goes, and how you store it decides how many users you can serve at once. Normally, the cache demands one big continuous slab of memory per sequence, and that turns out to be enormously wasteful. In 2023, a team at UC Berkeley borrowed a decades-old operating system trick to fix it, and the result, PagedAttention, is why the vLLM serving engine can handle so many more requests on the very same hardware. Let's walk through how it works, from the problem all the way to the payoff. Start with the problem, because the fix only makes sense once you see the waste. Traditionally, the cache for each sequence has to live in one contiguous block. Since you rarely know how long a reply will be, the server reserves space for the worst case up front. Most of that reserved room sits empty, and the leftover gaps between blocks fragment memory so badly that a lot of your GPU is just paying for air. PagedAttention throws out the contiguous requirement entirely. It chops the cache into small, fixed-size blocks, like pages, and lets them scatter anywhere in memory. A little lookup table remembers where each page landed, so nothing has to sit next to anything else. Reserved but unused waste basically disappears. The whole idea is lifted straight from how your computer manages memory. Follow the path a token takes. Every sequence sees a clean, ordered list of its own tokens. From model's point of view, the cache looks perfectly continuous, one token after another, even though that neat picture is a comfortable illusion. Behind that view sits the block table. It maps each logical slot to wherever the real page actually lives in GPU memory. This is exactly the indirection an operating system uses for virtual memory, just pointed at attention keys and values instead of program data. The real keys and values live in fixed-size physical pages, scattered wherever there was room. Because they no longer need to be neighbors, the allocator can pack them tight, and fragmentation drops to almost nothing. Here is the bonus. Because pages are addressed through a table, several sequences can point at the same page. A shared prompt prefix, or many parallel samples of one query. Reuse identical pages instead of copying them. That is memory saved, wasted duplication gone, and throughput climbing, all from one layer of indirection. So why did this one idea move the whole serving stack? 3 properties do the heavy lifting. Small pages of a fixed size mean the cache grows one block at a time, exactly as tokens arrive. No giant upfront reservation, no guessing the final length, so almost no memory is wasted on space you never use. The block table adds a layer of indirection that makes the pages safe to scatter. That same mapping is what lets sequences share pages, which is impossible when every cache has to be one rigid contiguous slab. Put it together, and you can fit far more sequences into the same GPU at once. Bigger batches mean more work per pass, and more work per pass means more requests served per second. vLLM reported up to around 24 times the throughput of earlier systems, purely from wasting less memory and batching more requests. All right, let's carry away the essentials. PagedAttention came out of vLLM from Quan and colleagues at UC Berkeley in 2023. It splits the KV cache into small, fixed-size pages stored non-contiguously, borrowing the operating system's virtual memory trick. A block table maps logical tokens to physical pages, which nearly eliminates fragmentation and lets sequences share pages. Sharing and tighter packing pushed serving throughput up to roughly 24 times prior systems. Want more machine learning ideas unpacked this plainly? You will find them waiting at standarity.com.